Some of Hollywood's biggest roles almost went to completely different stars, but personal feuds got in the way. From Ian McKellen turning down Dumbledore to Dwayne Johnson refusing to share scenes with Vin Diesel, these actors let real-life drama decide their careers. And in some cases, those decisions changed movie history forever. Dwayne Johnson refused to share the screen with his own co-star to avoid more conflict. During the Fast and Furious films, tension between Johnson and Vin Diesel became impossible to ignore. It reached a point where, for the fate of the Furious, Johnson agreed to return only under one condition: he would not film any scenes with Diesel. That meant the two actors never appeared together on screen in the movie. The decision came after ongoing disagreements, and Johnson chose to keep his distance entirely while still being part of the film. Charlie Sheen turned down a return to one of his biggest shows because the feud wasn't over. After being fired from 2.5 Men following a public clash with showrunner Chuck Lorre, Sheen was later offered a chance to come back for the series finale, but he refused. The reason? He didn't agree with the planned ending for his character and instead wanted it to lead into a new spin-off called The Harpers. When that didn't happen, Sheen declined the return entirely, extending the fallout between him and the show's creator. Anne Hathaway was almost Tiffany in Silver Linings Playbook. Before Jennifer Lawrence won her Oscar for the role, Hathaway had been cast as the lead opposite Mark Wahlberg. But behind the scenes, she and director David O. Russell clashed creatively. Hathaway eventually stepped away, leaving producers scrambling to fill the part. Enter Lawrence, a then-rising star who walked into auditions and completely reshaped the movie. Her quirky, fiery take on Tiffany not only won her the Best Actress Oscar, but also turned Silver Linings Playbook into a modern classic. Hathaway didn't lose out, though. That same year, she took home her own Oscar for Les Miserables. Robin Williams was promised not one, but 2 major Batman villain roles, and lost both. First, Warner Brothers encouraged him to go after the Joker in Batman, and he fully committed, only for the studio to hand the role to Jack Nicholson instead. Then it happened again. Williams was later offered the Riddler in Batman Forever, but the part ultimately went to Jim Carrey. After being passed over twice for roles he had already accepted, Williams openly acknowledged how the Batman films had treated him. Thandiwe Newton turned down a major Hollywood role because of what it demanded from her. She was set to appear in Charlie's Angels, but quickly became uncomfortable with how the character was being portrayed. The role involved sexualized elements, including a scene focused on tight clothing in a way she didn't agree with. Things escalated further during a meeting with a studio executive, where she was given acting suggestions she described as stereotypical for a black character. Faced with those conditions, Newton made a clear decision to walk away from the film entirely. Val Kilmer walked away from Batman after tensions exploded behind the scenes. While filming Batman Forever, Kilmer and director Joel Schumacher clashed constantly. Their conflict escalated into a physical pushing match, followed by 2 weeks where they didn't speak at all. According to Kilmer, the heavy and restrictive batsuit made acting difficult, adding to the frustration on set. That tension carried beyond the film, and Kilmer chose not to return for Batman and Robin. In the end, the role of Batman was recast, with George Clooney stepping in to replace him. Bill Murray refused to work with one of his closest collaborators after a fallout that lasted years. During Groundhog Day, Murray and director Harold Ramis clashed over the film's direction, with Murray pushing for a more existential tone while Ramis wanted pure comedy. The disagreement escalated so badly that they stopped speaking entirely, communicating only through assistants. That tension didn't fade after filming. It created a long-standing rift. Years later, when Ramis offered Murray a role in The Ice Harvest, Murray turned it down, extending the distance between them even further. Ian McKellen turned down one of the most iconic roles ever, and it all came down to a personal grudge. After Richard Harris passed away, the Harry Potter producers approached McKellen to step into the role of Professor Dumbledore. But there was a problem McKellen couldn't ignore. Harris had once grouped him with other actors as technically brilliant, but passionless. That comment stuck. When the opportunity came, McKellen realized exactly which role they had in mind, and refused. He chose not to take over a character from someone who hadn't approved of him, and the role ultimately went to Michael Gambon. Burt Reynolds refused to work with the director again, even after earning major recognition together. After starring in Boogie Nights, Reynolds didn't connect with director Paul Thomas Anderson at all. Despite the film's success and his own award nomination, Reynolds admitted he never even watched the full movie. The tension came down to personality clashes, with Reynolds feeling they didn't fit creatively. When Anderson later offered him a role in Magnolia, Reynolds turned it down completely. One project together was enough for him, and he chose not to collaborate with Anderson again. Shannen Doherty walked away from a hit show because the drama behind the scenes became too much. While starring in Charmed, tensions on set, especially involving Alyssa Milano, escalated to a breaking point. Doherty decided she'd had enough and exited the series after season 3. She explained that the environment was filled with drama and lacked the passion she wanted in her work. Instead of staying, Doherty chose to leave and focus on working with people who genuinely wanted to be there. Her departure marked a major shift for the show moving forward.